Okay, so first of all, huge congrats on getting those braces off. That is a big deal.
It really is.
But as anyone who's been there knows, the journey isn't over quite yet, right?
Definitely not.
We're diving deep today into the world of retainers. Keeping that amazing smile, keeping it looking its best, that's a whole other ballgame.
It is.
And get this, our main source today, a massive Cochrane review.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the kind where they looked at over 50 studies on
Yeah.
different retention methods.
That's thorough.
Yeah, so talk about knowing your stuff. So buckle up because we're going to break down fixed wires versus all those removable options, the pros, the cons, maybe even bust a few myths along the way. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. I think people really underestimate just how important retention is.
Yeah.
We're talking about years, potentially a lifetime of work to keep those teeth where we want them to be.
Okay, so let's talk about tooth memory for a second. Is that why it's such a long game? Because, like, my teeth are literally trying to go back to how they were before.
Exactly. Imagine a rubber band, right? You stretch it out, you hold it in that new shape, you let go, it snaps back.
Right.
Teeth are kind of similar. Braces move them, but the ligaments, the bone around them, they haven't quite caught up.
Mm.
They need time to remodel to kind of accept that new position.
Wow, okay, so it's not just about, like, wearing a retainer for a few months and calling it a day.
I wish. Unfortunately, no. Even years down the line, there's a chance of some shifting, especially those lower teeth. Chewing, tongue movement, it all adds up.
Okay, that's making me really glad we're doing this deep dive.
Good.
So when we talk about retainers, what are the main types we're even dealing with?
So we've got two big players.
Yep.
Fixed retainers, which, as the name suggests, are bonded directly to your teeth. And then there's the removable kind, giving you a bit more, shall we say, flexibility.
Okay, so fixed first. Those kind of sound good for someone like me, maybe a tad forgetful.
Sure.
What did the Cochrane review say about those? I've heard of those, like high-tech CAD/CAM retainers. Are those the best?
Here's a surprise. The research actually showed no major difference in how well they keep your teeth straight compared to the traditional multi-strand wire ones.
Really?
Yeah,
So much for fancy technology, huh?
right.
I guess sometimes the classics are classics for a reason.
Yeah, they work.
But if they work the same, are there any benefits to those pricier options?
You got it, aesthetics. The CAD/CAM retainers tend to be less noticeable, so people are often happier with how they look.
Mm.
There's a trade-off, though.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
Spill the tea. What's the catch?
Well, they might not last as long, and can be a bit trickier to keep clean because they're, well, stuck there.
Right.
That's a theme with fixed retainers in general, actually.
So less visible, but you've really got to be on top of brushing and flossing around them.
You got it.
Okay.
The review found that those fiber-reinforced ones, while potentially even better at holding teeth in place, could also fail sooner and need extra attention to gum health.
Okay, lots to think about there. I'm already realizing this retainer decision is a lot more nuanced than I thought.
It really is.
But let's be real, those fixed retainers, while discreet, don't exactly scream freedom, do they?
That's where the removable retainers come in, offering a whole different set of pros and cons.
Now, while those fixed options sound great for some, I gotta admit the idea of like popping out a retainer for like a photo op or like a big date night, well, that's pretty tempting.
I get it.
So let's talk about those removable retainers. What's the deal with those? I'm all ears.
Well, when it comes to removable retainers,
Yeah.
we're not talking about like a one-size-fits-all situation, right? You've got options like the classic Holly retainers.
Right.
Those clear plastic ones like Essex, even different thicknesses of plastic.
Right.
It's a whole world of retainers out there.
Okay, so options are always good. That actually reminds me, I saw like online that some people with those clear plastic retainers, they only have to wear them part-time.
Yeah.
Is that true? Can you really get away with that?
Sure. Yeah, I see that that piece of information floating around online a lot.
Yeah.
And it's important to unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
The Cochrane review actually did look into this,
Sure.
but the findings were pretty specific.
Okay.
They only applied to certain types of those clear retainers and in particular wear schedules.
So not exactly a free pass to like ditch the retainer every other night.
Not quite.
Okay.
Plus, we always need to remember, more research never hurts. It's like that saying, if it sounds too good to be true.
Right.
This is definitely a time to listen to your orthodontist's instructions.
Yes.
And not just what you see on, social media.
Word. My orthodontist is definitely going to be my go-to on this one, not like some random Instagram post. But you bringing up those clear retainers did remind me. Comfort is a big deal for me.
Sure.
Did the research say anything about that? Because no offense to those fixed retainers, but like something you can take out just sounds more comfortable, you know?
Absolutely. Comfort is key, especially if we're talking about something you're wearing long term.
Right.
And you're right. Intuitively, you'd think those removable ones would win hands down.
Right.
But get this. The Cochrane review actually found no major difference in comfort between those sleek CAD-CAM retainers and the traditional wire ones, at least for the lower teeth.
Wow. Okay. That is surprising.
Yeah.
I guess looks can be deceiving, even when it comes to retainers.
Right. Sometimes the simplest things work just as well, and in this case, feel just as comfortable.
Okay, comfort noted.
Yeah.
But let's talk cleaning for a sec.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, nobody wants a retainer that's, well, less than fresh, right?
Right.
What did the research say about that?
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Keeping those retainers clean is super important, not just for the fresh factor,
right.
but for for healthy gums and making sure the retainer actually lasts.
Right.
And what the review found? People actually said it was easier to clean around those fixed retainers that were only attached to the canine teeth
Okay.
compared to the ones spanning across multiple teeth.
Makes sense, right? Like the less surface area that thing is stuck to, the easier it is to get in there and like scrub.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Some people might prefer that extra stability of a retainer covering more teeth.
Right.
Even if it's a little tougher to clean. Again, it's all about what works best for you.
Man, the more we talk about this, the more I realize like this isn't just about like picking a retainer from a lineup.
Yeah.
There's a lot to consider.
There he is.
This is where a good conversation with like my orthodontist is going to be key.
100%. Your orthodontist is your partner in this, helping you weigh the pros and cons and find that sweet spot between what works and what you can stick with long term.
Right.
Because remember, we talked about tooth memory. Relapse is a lifelong thing. And that's why a lot of orthodontists suggest wearing those retainers indefinitely,
Okay.
or at least part-time, even years down the line.
Okay. Indefinitely is a word I wasn't quite expecting.
Yeah,
That's dedication.
it is.
Are there things besides like the type of retainer that can make relapse like more likely? Like if I'm really good about wearing it, am I like in the clear?
It's great that you're thinking about those long-term habits.
Yeah.
That's key.
Okay.
But there are a few other factors the research touched on.
Okay.
One is something called adjunctive procedures.
Okay, now you're just using big words to sound smart.
No, I promise it's not as complicated as it sounds. These are basically things that can be done in addition to wearing your retainer to help keep things stable. Think of it like giving your teeth some extra support.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
One example is something called interproximal reduction, or IPR for short.
See, even the short version sounds kind of intense.
I promise it's not as scary as it sounds.
Okay.
Basically, it involves slightly reshaping the contact points between your teeth
Okay.
to help them fit together a little bit better.
Okay.
The idea is that that this can actually reduce the forces that might cause your teeth to shift over time.
So it's like fine-tuning the bite even after the braces are off.
Exactly. One study in the Cochrane review actually showed that that using IPR along with an upper removable retainer and a lower fixed retainer led to some significant changes in the lower intercanine width. That's the distance between the pointy teeth
Right.
and even the overbite.
Wait, hold up. So you're telling me this IPR thing can actually like change the alignment of my teeth even after I'm done with braces?
Yeah.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, right? But got to add a little disclaimer here.
Right.
While those changes in that study were definitely statistically significant,
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean they'll be, super noticeable
Yeah.
in every single case.
Very
Right?
good.
And as with a lot of things in the dental world, more research on IPR
Right.
and these adjunctive procedures is always a good thing.
Got it. So it's like a tool in the toolbox,
Right.
but not a guaranteed like miracle worker.
Right, exactly.
Makes sense. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels like there's like a lot to consider when it comes to retainers. Like,
Yeah.
where do we even begin?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
It's not as simple as just slapping on a retainer and calling it a day.
right. It's about like finding what works for you, like long term,
Yes.
which I'm realizing now thanks to this deep dive, could be a few different things.
Exactly. And that's where that open communication with your orthodontist is so crucial, right?
Yeah.
They're there to walk you through the options,
Yeah.
answer your questions, and help you figure out a plan that that you can actually stick with.
Right, because let's be real, compliance is key here.
Yeah, 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 100%. The best retainer in the world won't do much good if it's sitting in its case.
Right, it's like that saying, you gotta work with the hair you got,
Exactly.
or in this case, the teeth.
I love that analogy.
Huh.
And remember,
Yeah.
we're talking about a lifetime of healthy smiles here. So
Right.
whether you end up going with fixed, removable, some combination of the two,
Right.
the important thing is to find what you're comfortable with, what
Right.
you can maintain, and what fits into your life.
This whole deep dive has been like a serious eye-opener. I went from thinking retainers were like a minor afterthought to realizing they're like the VIPs of a long-lasting smile.
That's what we like to hear. It's
Yeah.
all about being informed and empowered to make the best choices for your smile.
So for anyone out there who's just finished up their orthodontic treatment or maybe is about to get their braces off, congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
You've done something amazing for yourself, but as we've learned today, the journey isn't over quite yet. Keep going.
Retention is key, and luckily, with the right information and a great orthodontist by your side,
Yes.
you got this.
You got this, 100%. Remember, keep those retainers clean, and that beautiful new smile will thank you for years to come.
Couldn't have said it better myself.